I never thought I'd kill my own reflection. But there I was, staring into the bathroom mirror of that godforsaken motel, off I-95. My brother's face grinning back at me like a bad joke. The switch had happened 3 nights ago in a back-alley clinic in Baltimore, courtesy of some black market neurotech wizard who'd lost his license for ethical lapses, whatever the hell that means in a country where billionaires play God with brain chips. I'd paid him in cash, siphoned from the family trust my brother, Ethan, thought he'd locked down forever. And now, as I ran his fingers over the fresh incision at the base of my skull, I felt the weight of every lie he'd shoveled into our parents' ears. Juliet's unstable. Dad. She's seeing things that aren't there. Remember the accident? It's PTSD or worse. That accident. God. If they only knew. It was Ethan's screw-up from the start, him. The golden boy. Wired on coke at a Yale mixer, plowing his daddy's Porsche into a guardrail on some foggy Connecticut backroad. I was 22, fresh out of community college, crashing at his off-campus apartment because family duty meant cleaning up his messes. He begged me to take the fall. You're nobody, Jules. A psych eval and it'll blow over. I'll make it right. And like the idiot sister who still believed in blood thicker than the law, I did. Sign the statement. Swallowed the charges, reckless endangerment, a suspended sentence, 6 months of mandated therapy where shrinks poked at my delusions until I started doubting my own goddamn name. Ethan? He graduated summa cum laude, landed that cushy internship at Dad's hedge fund, and whispered poison into Mom and Dad's ears about my episodes whenever I clawed my way back into their good graces. By the time Dad's Alzheimer's hit like a freight train 2 years later, Ethan had the narrative locked. I was the liability, the one who couldn't be trusted with end-of-life decisions. He convinced them I was off my meds, hallucinating threats from imaginary enemies, code for the family lawyers he greased to fast-track the power of attorney. I fought it in court, dragging every dirty secret I could unearth, from his coke-fueled bar tabs to that underage intern he paid off. The judge, a no-nonsense black woman from the Bronx with eyes like she'd seen every flavor of family bullshit, saw through it. Mr. Harrington, she drawled, peering over her glasses at Ethan in his tailored Brooks Brothers suit. Convincing your parents or sisters unstable while hiding your own rap sheet? That's not guardianship. That's grand theft inheritance. She denied the POA, slapped a conservatorship on the estate, and ordered family counseling that none of us ever showed up for. But winning in court didn't fix the rot. Mom died 6 months later, heart attack. They said. But I knew it was the stress of Ethan's gaslighting. The way he'd isolate her in that McMansion in Greenwich, doling out Dad's meds like he was the fucking warden. Dad lingered in his haze, mumbling about the good old days, while Ethan siphoned assets into offshore shells. I got a pittance, a crumbling brownstone in Brooklyn that smelled like regret and ramen noodles. And me, Juliet Harrington, the black sheep with a record, scraping by as a freelance coder, hacking firewalls for startups that treated me like a ghost. Until I found Dr. Voss. Voss was a ghost too, holed up in a Fells Point warehouse that reeked of ozone and desperation. Ex-DARPA. He'd pioneered neural mapping for prosthetics before Uncle Sam yanked his funding over unforeseen side effects. Side effects like body swaps. Not some Hollywood soul-suck. Real tech. Jury-rigged from deep brain stimulators and AI algorithms that hijacked the synaptic web. It's like borrowing a hard drive, he rasped, his face half-shadowed by a flickering Coleman lantern. You upload your engrams into their cortex. Overwrite the host's motor controls. Reversible. If you don't fry the hardware. Cost? 50 grand. Plus a favor. Data on Ethan's neural patterns, which I'd lifted from a hacked medical file during one of his routine checkups for stress. I did it for Dad. Or that's what I told myself as the machine hummed to life. Electrodes biting into my temples like angry hornets. For the nights I'd spent whispering apologies to Mom's urn. For the way Ethan's voice echoed in my head. Smooth as bourbon. Sharp as a shiv. You're nothing without me, Jules. Stay in your lane. The swap hit like drowning in static, my vision fracturing into pixels. Ethan's memories bleeding in like oil on water. His first lay at 16, the thrill of snorting lines off a stripper's thigh in Vegas, the cold calculus of forging Dad's signature on that first embezzlement. I woke up in his penthouse on the Upper East Side, silk sheets tangled around legs that weren't mine, staring at a ceiling painted like the Sistine Chapel if Michelangelo had a coke habit. That first morning, I nearly puked. The mirror showed Ethan's face, sharp jaw, trust fund blue eyes, that perpetual smirk that made juries melt and women undress. But inside, me. Juliet, the fighter, the one who'd clawed through foster group homes after Mom's first breakdown, really just exhaustion from Dad's Wall Street rages. I practiced his walk down the hall, that loose-hipped swagger, and called his assistant, cancel the 10 a.m. with Goldman. Tell them I'm indisposed. By noon, I'd cracked his safe. Combination was Mom's birthday. The bastard, and found the flash drive. Proof. Emails to the family lawyer. Bribes to the therapist who diagnosed me unstable. Even a voice memo of him laughing with his frat boy cronies. Julie's the perfect patsy. Who'd believe the town drunk's daughter over me? Revenge tasted like battery acid. Bitter and electric. But I played it slow. First, I needed to embed Ethan, real Ethan. Trapped in my body, probably screaming in that Brooklyn walk-up, would wake up disoriented, piecing together the hack. Voss had promised a 72-hour window before the overrides faded, but I bought an extension with a wire transfer from Ethan's Cayman account. Day 1, I waltzed into the hedge fund offices on Park Avenue, flashing that Harrington charm, greenlighting deals that'd tank competitors who'd ever crossed Dad. The staff ate it up. Ethan, you're on fire today. While I sowed seeds, casual mentions of offshore irregularities to the compliance officer. A planted bug in the boardroom. Night fell like a guillotine. I drove Ethan's Audi up to Greenwich, the estate lights blazing against the autumn chill. Dad's nurse let me in without a blink. To her, I was the dutiful son. He was in the library, slumped in his leather wingback, a half-empty tumbler of scotch balanced on his knee. Ethan? His voice cracked like old leather. I knelt, taking his gnarled hand, mine now, but his flesh. It's me, Dad. And it's Juliet too. The words tumbled out. A confession wrapped in a lie. Tears hot on cheeks that weren't mine. I told him everything. The accident, the swap, the years of Ethan's shadow puppeteering. His eyes, milky with fog, sharpened for a heartbeat. My girl, he wheezed. Always the strong one. Then he slipped away again. But not before pressing a key into my palm, to the family vault, hidden in the basement. That's when the paranoia kicked in. A text from me. Ethan in my skin, blinking on the phone. What the fuck did you do? Undo this now. I deleted it, heart hammering like a jackrabbit. He was piecing it together faster than I'd hoped. Time to accelerate. I cracked the vault at midnight. Fluorescent hum casting ghosts on stacks of bearer bonds and ledgers yellowed with age. There it was, the original accident report. Ethan's print smudged on the falsified page I'd signed. And deeper, a manila envelope sealed with wax, Mom's handwriting, for Juliet. When the time comes. Inside, letters. Dozens. Detailing Ethan's cruelties from childhood. The time he drowned the neighbor's cat and blamed me. The forged report card that got me grounded for his FS. But the kicker, a paternity test, crumpled and unsigned. Ethan wasn't Dad's. Some affair Mom had in the 90s. A brief fling with the pool boy turned contractor. He carries your fire, she'd written. But twisted. Protect yourself, Jules. The betrayal hit like a sucker punch. All those years, I'd covered for a stranger's spawn. Let him erode our family like acid rain. Dawn broke gray over Long Island Sound as I burned the letters in the fireplace. Ashes swirling like confetti at a funeral. Ethan would be coming for me, raging in my body, calling in favors from his network of Ivy League snakes. But I had the leverage now. A quick hack from my phone. Ethan's biometrics opened every door, and I wired the evidence to the DA's tip line. Anonymous. Time-stamped from a VPN in Toronto. Reckless endangerment? Try fraud. Elder abuse. Identity theft. The feds would love this. By evening, sirens wailed in the distance as I slipped back to the city. The Audi's engine purring like a satisfied cat. But doubt gnawed. Was this justice or just trading one cage for another? Voss's voice echoed. Swaps leave scars.
Kid.
Synaptic echoes. Already. Flashes. Ethan's urges. The itch for a line. The thrill of closing a dirty deal. I shook it off, pulling into the motel lot. Tomorrow. The climax. I'd confront him. Me. In the flesh. Force the truth out before the swap reversed, and the world righted itself. Or shattered. Sleep was a joke that night. My brother's body thrashing under threadbare motel sheets. Synapses firing like faulty wiring. Ethan's dreams invaded. Power plays in boardrooms. The rush of outmaneuvering rivals. A woman's laugh turning to sobs after he ghosted her post-Labor Day. I woke sweating. The scar at my neck throbbing. And checked the burner phone. 3 missed calls from Jules, him, and a voicemail that started with a sob and ended in a snarl. You think you're clever? Cease. I've got people. Real people. By noon, you'll be the one in a psych ward, babbling about body swaps. His voice in my mouth thin, Brooklyn-edged, laced with that fake vulnerability I'd honed in therapy sessions. It chilled me. Ethan always knew how to play the victim better than I ever could. I showered in scalding water, scrubbing at skin that felt foreign, the faint stubble on his jaw rasping like sandpaper. Voss had warned about the bleed. Host memories stick like burrs.
Pique, em off quick.
Or they'll root. Easier said. As I toweled off, a memory surfaced, not mine. Ethan.
12.
Rifling Mom's jewelry box while she napped, pocketing a pearl necklace to pawn for comic books. I'd caught him. Tattled. He turned it around with tears and a hug. I was gonna share. Jules. You're my favorite. The lie stuck. A hook in my gut. How many times had I swallowed his charm? Excuse the thefts? The accident was just the apex. A pyramid of small betrayals built on our shared blood. Or not. Thanks to Mom's secret. Coffee black, as Tar steadied me. I needed a plan. Something airtight. The confrontation couldn't be a slugfest. Ethan thrived on chaos. Turning fists into lawsuits, bruises into abuse claims. No. This had to be surgical, expose him in his element, where his power crumbled like dry rot. The family gala. Dad's foundation threw one every fall at the Metropolitan Museum. Black-tie schmoozers dropping millions on philanthropy while angling for tax breaks. Ethan chaired it, his photo op with senators and CEOs burnished into gold. This year, I'd be the star. I texted his PA from his phone. Double down on the keynote. Make it personal. Then, a side note to the caterers, extra champagne, and a surprise video tribute cued for the toast. Mid-morning, I hit a Dwayne Reed for makeup, concealer to soften Ethan's cheekbones, liner to sharpen the eyes into something almost feminine. Absurd, mirroring his face into a hybrid, but it bought time. If anyone questioned the off vibe, I'd blame jet lag from a business trip. The drive to the Met crawled through Midtown gridlock, horns blaring like accusations. My phone, his, buzzed nonstop, board members sniffing at the wire transfers. A lover named Kendra demanding, "The ring you promised." I ghosted them all, focusing on the rear view. There I was, Ethan Harrington III, heir apparent, but with Juliet's fire in the eyes. Controversy brewed already. A quick Google on my burner showed whispers on page 6. Harrington scion spotted in seedy Baltimore dive. Rehab relapse? The Met's Great Hall glittered like a fever dream, chandeliers dripping crystal. Air thick with Chanel and cigar smoke. I slipped in through the VIP entrance, nodding at air-kissing socialites who cooed. "Ethan, darling, you look radiant, radiant." If they only knew the storm under the Armani tux. Dad was there, wheeled in by the nurse, his face a map of forgotten wars. I bent to kiss his forehead, murmuring, "It's me, old man. Watch the show." He gripped my sleeve. A spark of recognition. Juliet. Careful. A heart twisting. I straightened, scanning the crowd. No sign of me, yet Ethan probably holed up in my brownstone, lawyering up or worse, rallying his posse. The MC called me to the podium at 8 sharp, spotlights hot as judgment. I gripped the lectern, Ethan's baritone booming through the mic. "Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we honor not just my father's legacy, but the unsung heroes in our family, the ones who bear the scars so others shine." Gasps rippled. This wasn't the canned speech. I launched into it, weaving truth with venom, the accident as metaphor for reckless inheritance, the POA battle as a cautionary tale of trust eroded by ambition. Eyes widened. The mayor shifted uncomfortably. A hedge fund rival smirked. Then the hook, and let's talk secrets. The kind buried in basements and blood tests, the ones that rewrite who we are. That's when the doors burst open. There I was, Ethan in my body, disheveled in a thrift store trench coat, flanked by 2 burly associates who screamed off-duty cop. "Security," he shrieked, my voice cracking high. "That's not Ethan. She's an imposter. My sister's lost it again." Chaos erupted, champagne flutes shattering, gowns rustling in panic. I held the podium, calm as a cobra. "Juliet, come say hello to the family." The video cued, my hack job masterpiece, split screen of Ethan's voice memos. Falsified docs scrolling like credits in a noir flick, overlaid with Mom's letters digitized and narrated in her soft drawl. The crowd froze. Phones out. Liv tweeting the implosion. He lunged, but the associates held back. Bribed?
No.
My doing? A quick Venmo from the Cayman slush fund. "You bitch," he hissed. Close enough, I smelled my own cheap drugstore shampoo on me. "This ends now." Up close, My eyes bulged with rage. But underneath?
Fear.
The real Ethan. Stripped bare. I leaned in, Ethan's breath warm on my ear. It ended when you sold me out. Brother. Or should I say, not brother? The paternity bomb dropped like a grenade. Gasps turned to murmurs. Dad's nurse wheeling him closer. His wheeze cutting through. Enough. Both of you. Security swarmed, but I waved them off. Let her speak. Let him. He ranted delusions, swaps, conspiracy, my body flailing like a puppet with cut strings. The crowd lapped it up, sympathy tilting my way. Poor Juliet, the victim once more. But as cops cuffed him, anonymous tip to NYPD about the fraud package, I felt the first crack. The scar itched. Voss's timer ticking. Synaptic bleed worsened, a flash of Ethan's triumph, sealing the POA deal over steak at Peter Luger. Nausea rolled. Was I becoming him? We rode to the precinct in separate cars. Sirens wailing into the night. Interrogation room. Fluorescent buzz. Coffee like axle grease. The detective, a grizzled Irishman named O'Leary, eyed me, Ethan's face, with skepticism. Mr. Harrington, your sister's claiming.
What?
Exactly? Body possession. I slid the flash drive across the table. Watch it. Then arrest the right one. He did, brow furrowing deeper with each frame. By 2 a.m., Ethan was booked. Wire fraud. Elder exploitation. Conspiracy. I walked free. The judge's old ruling cited as precedent. Unstable? Hell. Sounds like the brothers the loose cannon. But freedom tasted like ash. Back at the penthouse, I collapsed on the king bed, body aching from the strain. The mirror mocked, Ethan's smirk, but my tears. A call from Voss. Windows closing.
Kid.
Extract now. Or permanent merge. Panic clawed. I needed one more move, confront Dad alone. Hand off the vault key. Make peace before the swap snapped back. Dawn found me speeding north again. Radio droning NPR scandals that paled against our farce. Greenwich loomed. The estate a mausoleum of memories. Dad was awake. Miraculously. Sipping tea by the conservatory windows. Juliet, he said. No question. I spilled it all, the swap, the gala, the blood secret. He nodded, weary. I knew about your mother. Forgave her. But him. He was mine in every way that mattered. Until he wasn't. We sat in silence. The key heavy in his palm. Fix it,
Girl.
but don't lose yourself. As I drove back, the bleed intensified. Ethan's urges. A compulsion to call Kendra. Apologize with diamonds. I fought it, gripping the wheel white-knuckled. Midtown. Traffic snarled. My phone lit up, unknown number. Kendra's voice. Tear-choked. Ethan? What the hell was that video?
Are you?
Okay. Guilt twisted, not mine.
His.
I'm not who you think, I muttered. Goodbye. Hung up. Heart pounding. The controversial line. Do I warn her? Spare one innocent? Or let the empire crumble? Collateral be damned? Voss's clinic waited. A beacon in the warehouse gloom. But first, one stop. Ethan's dealer. A sleazy ghost in Chelsea. Not for a hit, for leverage. I flushed the coke stashed down the penthouse toilet. Filmed it. Sent to his cronies. Clean house. Or join him in cuffs. Power. Real power. Tasted sweet. Yet as the swap machine loomed, electrodes cold against temples, doubt festered. What if the merge stuck? What if I liked the view from the top? The extraction hit harder than the upload, like being yanked through a cheese grater. Nerves screaming as engrams unraveled. Voss monitored from his jury-rigged console, muttering curses in guttural German. Steady. Synaptic integrity at 47%. Push through. Fräulein. Fräulein. I wanted to laugh, but it came out a gurgle. Ethan's throat convulsing. Flashes assaulted, his proposal to Kendra on a yacht off Nantucket, ring glinting like a lie, the night he keyed my car after the POA hearing, whispering stay down through gritted teeth. Then, blackness. I woke strapped to the gurney. My own body, Juliet's. Wiry and scarred from bar fights I'd never started, feeling like a borrowed coat. Too tight in the shoulders. Voss unstrapped me, his eyes bloodshot. Clean swap. But echoes linger, weeks, maybe months. Therapy helps.
Therapy.
The irony burned. I peeled off a grand, left him to his shadows.
Outside.
Baltimore's pre-dawn chill bit deep. The harbor a slate mirror reflecting my fractured self. Ethan's Audi was gone, impounded after the gala circus, but I'd Ubered a beater sedan. Cash only. The drive to Brooklyn was a blur. Highways emptying like veins after a bleed out. My brownstone squatted on a street of bodegas and chain link. Graffiti tags a Rorschach of urban despair.
Home.
Or what was left. Inside reeked of takeout and terror, pizza boxes stacked like accusations. My laptop opened to frozen news feeds, Harrington heir arrested in shocking family feud. Ethan's face, my temporary mask, plastered everywhere. Alongside Juliet's mugshot from the scuffle. Comment sections boiled. Classic rich kid drama. Bet the sister's the real psycho. Feminazi revenge porn. Controversy. American as apple pie and pitchforks. I showered off the grime, tracing the twin scar on my neck, matched to Ethan's. The mirror showed me dark circles under hazel eyes, choppy bob from a bad self-cut, the faint duvet of acne scars from stress sits. Juliet Harrington. Unfiltered. I looked like a survivor. Felt like a ghost. Sleep evaded till noon. Dreams a mashup. Ethan's boardroom victories bleeding into my courtroom defeats. Woke to pounding. Cops?
No. Kendra.
All blonde ambition and Lululemon. Mascara streaked. Juliet? Ethan said.
God.
What the fuck is going on? She'd pieced it from the video. Driven from the Hamptons on a hunch. I let her in. Brewed weak coffee. Her story spilled. 2 years of Ethan's charm offensive, private jets to Aspen. Whispers of marriage, until the gala exposed the rot. He promised forever. Then that. Performance. Was it you in his skin? I nodded. The truth a grenade pin pulled. Her laugh was brittle. Karma's a bitch. But damn. Girl, you're braver than I ever was. We talked till dusk. Kendra's pragmatism a bomb. She had dirt too. Screenshots of Ethan's sex to interns. A slush fund for gifts that screamed bribery. Use it, she urged. Burn him. But as she left, hugging fierce, doubt crept. Revenge's afterglow faded fast. What now? Dad called. Miracle of lucidity. Thanking me. Promising to revise the will. Half to me. Conservatorship shared. Proud of you, Jules. But end this clean.
Clean.
In America, clean meant settlements, NDAs, skeletons reburied deeper. Next morning, Riker's visit. Ethan. In my body still swaps don't reverse visually. Just the puppeteer, looked wrecked, orange jumpsuit hanging loose. My features gaunt and feral. Juliet, he sneered through the glass. Voice mine, but venom his. Enjoy the throne? It's plastic. I pressed the receiver cold. It's over.
Ethan.
DA's got the package, your prints, Mom's letters, the works. 20 years, minimum. His eyes, my eyes flared. You think you're clean? That accident? I wasn't alone. Dad knew. He covered for me insurance scam, bigger than you think. The twist landed like a gut shot. Dad, complicit? Flashes from the bleed confirmed, a hazy memory. Ethan's, of Dad handing cash to the tow truck guy, muttering family first, betrayal squared, not just Ethan's lies, but Dad's enabling, Mom's silence. I hung up, storming out into Queens' gray sprawl, rain slicking the streets. Kendra met me at a diner off the bridge, pancakes drowned in syrup. Confront him, she said. No, him was Dad. Back to Greenwich. Tires hydroplaning through Connecticut burbs, wipers slapping like accusations. The estate felt haunted, leaves skittering like fleeing rats. Dad in the study, scotch in hand, clearer-eyed than I'd seen in years. Jules. No preamble. I slapped the paternity test down, lifted from evidence lockup via a hacker buddy. You knew. About the accident. About him not being yours. His face crumpled. Bourbon sloshing. Blood or not, he was my son.
Mistakes.
We all make them. The scam kept the firm afloat post-08. Your mother, God rest her, begged me to protect you both.
Protect.
The word twisted. I'd borne the scars, the stigma, while they played house. We argued till voices echoed, me screaming about stolen years. Him defending with Wall Street parables, survival. Juliet. This country's a jungle. Controversial? Hell yes, condoning fraud for family, excusing abuse as legacy. I stormed out, key to the vault jangling like chains. But in the driveway, clarity hit. The real revenge wasn't destruction. It was reclamation. I hacked the foundation servers from the car, Ethan's code still fresh, redirecting funds, scholarships for at-risk youth like post-accident me. Audits on every shady deal. Dad's empire. Neutered. Ethan's trial loomed. A media circus in Manhattan Supreme. I testified. Voice steady, the swap framed as metaphorical possession to dodge sci-fi scrutiny. The lies. The blood secret. Jurors leaned in, housewives nodding at betrayal. Brokers squirming at the fraud. Kendra sat front row. Her presence a silent fuck you. Voss, subpoenaed. But he ghosted. Clinic torched in an electrical fire. Loose ends. American style. Climax built in the courthouse hallway. Recess smoke break. Ethan. Shackled. Cornered me. You win this. Sis. But you'll always be the fallback. The girl who took the fall. Rage boiled. Controversial urge. I wanted to deck him. My own face.
Prove him right.
Instead, I whispered, that's your curse now. Living as me, back in session. The verdict dropped, guilty. 15 to life. No parole. Cheers from the gallery.
But my cheer? Hollow.
As they led him away, he mouthed monster. And for a beat, I wondered if he meant me. Post-trial haze. Headlines faded. Dad's health tanked stroke. They said, stress. I sold the brownstone. Bought a cabin upstate. Catskills quiet broken only by owls. Kendra visited. Tentative dates turning to something real, coffee and flannel. Hikes where we unpacked our baggage. But echoes lingered. Ethan's smirk in mirrors. A yen for power that scared me straight to therapy. Real therapy. No mandates. The shrink. A queer Latina with zero patience for bullshit. Called it post-traumatic fusion. Progress? Maybe.
Then,
the letter. From prison. Ethan's scrawl on lined paper. You think it's over?
Dad's dying.
Last words for you. Dread coiled. I drove south. Autumn blaze mocking the chill in my veins. The hospital in White Plains was a sterile purgatory, beeps syncing with my pulse. Antiseptic sting masking decay. Dad lay tubed and frail. Monitors charting his exit ramp. The nurse nodded me in, her face pity professional. He's been asking for Juliet.
For me.
Not the son he'd half-raised. I took the chair, his hand papery in mine. Jules. Eyes fluttered open. Blue faded to gray. Forgive. Old man. The words gurgled. Oxygen mask fogging. Controversy's knife twisted. Forgive the enabler. The architect of my chains. Ethan's trial fresh. His screams echoing from the stand. She fabricated it all. And here Dad. Architect of silences. I squeezed back. Tell me why. He coughed. A rattle like loose change. The firm. Oh, 8 crash. Lost millions. The accident, insurance payout saved us. Ethan. He confessed. I buried it. For you.
2.
No record for the golden boy meant no shadow on you. Bullshit. My record was the shadow. The unstable label a lifelong brand. And Mom's secret?
His gaze slid.
Knew since the test. Loved her anyway. He was fire, yours. Twisted. Thought I could fix him. American dream delusion. Bootstrap the bastard child. Ignore the fractures. I leaned close. You broke us.
Dad.
But I fixed it. His nod was feeble.
Proud.
The will. It's yours now.
All.
He flatlined at midnight. Codes blue fading to silence. I signed the papers numb. Kendra waiting in the hall with bad vending coffee. You okay? Her hand on my arm grounded. He died as he lived, half-truths. Funeral was Greenwich Cathedral. A who's who of finance vultures circling the carcass. Eulogy mine. Edward Harrington built empires on sand. May his daughter build on stone. Whispers rippled, bold. She's the new blood. Power siren call. Ethan's echo urging take it. Jules. It's yours by right. Weeks blurred. Estate wrangling. Lawyers slithering like eels. I claimed the penthouse. Gutted it, silk walls to exposed brick. A hacker's den with Catskill views. The hedge fund? I shuttered the shady arms. Pivoted to ethical AI, neural mapping for prosthetics. Voss's ghost tech legitimized. Board balked. But the will was iron, my call. Controversial moves piled. Firing Ethan's cronies with severance tied to confessions. Donating the Porsche to a women's shelter. Drive your own way. Sisters. Media lapped it. Heiress Juliet Harrington, revenge or renaissance. But the bleed festered. Nightmares. Ethan's hands, mine, strangling me in the brownstone mirror. Urges. A line at a gala afterparty. The high-promising clarity. I resisted. But Kendra saw the cracks. You're slipping, she'd say. Overtake out tie. Our thing deepened, lazy Sundays coding side by side. Her venture capital smarts meshing my tech grit. But trust? Fragile. One night, post-fight about my workaholic bullshit, she found the scar. Traced it. This swap. Did it change you? Truth, yes. Ethan's cunning sharpened my edges. But Juliet's heart bled through. Twist shadow loomed in a manila envelope. Postmarked Rikers. Ethan's appeal filing. Pro-SE ramble, sister's fraud, body swap via illegal tech. Paternity ruse to discredit. Attached? Voss's patient logs. My signature forged? No, real. Hacked from the ashes. Panic spiked.
How?
He'd had a visitor. That sleazy dealer. Turned snitch. Ethan, even caged,
Schemed.
I called Voss. Burner dead. Trail cold. Kendra urged lawyering up, but controversy called. Countersue. Drag his hell public? Or bury it? Let echoes die? Decision night. Storm lashing the penthouse. Thunder like judgment. I paced. Scotch in hand. Dad's vice. Not mine. Phone buzzed, unknown. A voice distorted. Harrington? Voss here. Your brother's people torched my place. Got your file, insurance. Blackmail. 20 mil. Or it leaks swap details. Ethical breaches. My instability reframed as psychosis. Rage boiled, controversial calculus. Pay the devil. Or burn brighter. I wired half. Set a trace. Meet at dawn. Derelict pier in Red Hook. Brooklyn fog cloaked the showdown. Gulls crying like banshees. Voss emerged. Trench coat flapping. A duffel at his feet. The rest. His eyes darted. I tossed the chip. He grinned, too wide. Smart girl. But as he turned, shadows shifted. Two goons. Ethan's muscle from the gala. Ambush. For the boss, one grunted. Sap swinging. I dodged. Heart slamming. Ethan's reflexes kicking in. A jab landing square. Chaos. Fists. Grunts. The duffel's contents spilling. Files. Drives. A Glock glinting wet. Voss bolted. But I tackled. Knee to his spine. Who sent you? He wheezed truth. Not Ethan direct. But a proxy. Dad's old partner. Bigelow. The vulture at the funeral. Covering tracks. Fearing my audits. The gun?
For me.
Controversial shot. I fired into the air. Echoes scattering the goons. Voss laughed. Manic. You're him now, ruthless. Cops' sirens wailed. Anonymous tip. My doing. As blue lights flashed, I slipped away. Duffel clutched. Inside, gold. Voss's full research. Patents unfiled. Mine now. Back home. Kendra waited. Eyes wide. What happened? I dumped the bag. The endgame. We burned the blackmail, literal flames in the fireplace, then fucked like it was apocalypse o'clock. Bodies crashing like waves. Morning brought clarity. Sue Bigelow civil.
Expose the web.
Media frenzy reignited. Harrington heiress dodges assassination plot. Family curse or corporate war. Public divided. Justice for Juliet versus Innocent. Twitter ablaze with theories. I leaned into it. TED Talk on neural ethics, Voss scrubbed from history. But the real twist brewed in a clinic email. Anonymous. Echo reversal protocol. 1 dose. Permanent separation.
Zenda?
Voss. Redeemed? Temptation nod, shed Ethan's ghost. Be whole. Kendra begged caution. What if it's poison? Debate raged internal. Play safe. Or risk the unknown. I dosed alone. Needle-piercing scar. World dissolving to code. Woke changed, not fused, but amplified. Ethan's smarts. My soul. The will finalized. Foundation mine. Legacy rewritten. Months post-dose. The world tilted toward triumph, but revenge's bill came due in shadows. The foundation thrived, AI prosthetics rolling out to vets and queens. Scholarships flooding brown girls into STEM. Bigelow folded under the suit. His empire auctioned for reparations. Kendra and I, solid. Rings swapped in a quiet city hall nod. Her venture firm backing my neural startup. Harrington Voss Tech, we called it Irony's Wink. Dad's ghost approved. I sensed. In boardroom wins.
Ethan?
Appealed and lost. Shipped to Sing Sing. My body a prison tack canvas. Visit ceased. His letters turned pleading. Then venom. You're a monster in thief's clothing. Debatable. Had I stolen justice or just even the scales? Public polls split. 52% hailed me feminist icon. 48% whispered vindictive witch. Controversy's gift, endless ink. Endless doubt. The final twist dropped unannounced, a DNA retest. Ordered in probate cleanup. Results in a lawyer's office. Sterile as the hospital. Technician's voice flat. MS. Harrington. The paternity. It's inverted. Inverted? Mom's fling? No, Ethan was dad's. The test she'd hidden? Faked. Her guilt projecting. Protect yourself, she'd written. Fearing I'd uncover her own skeletons, and a fair post-dad's rages. My true father the contractor.
Me.
The bastard. Not him. Reversal gutted. All those years. I'd revenged the wrong betrayal. Ethan sins his own. Blood deep. Dad's cover-up? For me? The interloper. I laughed. Hysterical. In the elevator down. Kendra met me at the loft. Read the report. Does it change anything? Her eyes searched. Everything. Nothing. I'm still Juliet.
Just.
Freer. We drove upstate that weekend. Cabin snow-dusted. Fire crackling. Over mulled wine. I confessed the full bleed. Ethan's echoes. The doses gamble. I kept the edge. Needed it. She nodded.
Fierce.
We both did. Sex that night was reclamation. Bodies ours. No ghosts. Morning hike. Boots crunching virgin powder. I scattered Mom's ashes, stolen from the estate urn, over the ridge. Twisted fire, I whispered. Wind carried it east. To the sea. Legacy? Debatable end. Foundation boomed, but scandals nipped, a whistleblower claiming swap trials on volunteers. Voss surfaced in Berlin. TED rival. Preaching ethics I half stole.
Ethan?
Paroled early on good behavior. My body gaunt but scheming. Last sighting. Busking in the village. Harmonica wailing blues. I sent cash anonymous. Pity? Or hook for round 2.
Me?
CEO by day. Coder by night. Kendra's hand in mine at galas. Unstable?
Once.
Now? Unbreakable. The judge disagreed with the label. The world still argues the cost. Revenge, catharsis, or curse? You decide. As for the swap scar, faded ink. Reminder, we're all borrowed skins. Truths inverted till we claim them. In the end, I stare at mirrors unafraid. Juliet Harrington. Whole. Or as whole as America allows.